Shivasade. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're going to continue reading from Canto 5, Chapter 19, Text 23. Does anyone remember where we are? What section are we reading?
Hare Krishna, I'm just telling you where we were. We had to start Jambūdvīpa's on 23rd. Yeah, this is the right one. Yes.
Yeah, no, just like a recap, I was wondering if anyone remembers what section.
The recap is that Narad Muni was telling us about the Bharatvarsha and Nar-Narayan are the rishis, and then he was telling us that how we should be doing, and then he was also explaining about the rivers that are flowing, glorifying Bharatvarsha, and also the different rivers that has so much significance in the Bharatvarsha and how they can purify a person.
Yes.
Just bathing in them. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, and he's offering prayers to Nar-Narayan Rishi, and he's glorifying that just by taking birth in Bharatvarsh, one can easily take up devotional service. Easily one can engage in devotional service of the Lord and go back home, back to Godhead. And he's saying that even how the demigods are lamenting that, oh, why we are born in heavenly planets, we should be born in India, so that we can perform this devotional service. Kalpayusham sthana jayat punarbhavat.
Kalpayusham sthanaya punarbhavat.
Shanayusham bharata bhujayo varam.
Shanayusham bharata bhujayo varam.
Shanena martyena kritam manasvina.
Shanena martyena kritam manashvina.
Sanyasya samyanti abhayam padam hare.
Sanyasya samyanti abhayam padam hare.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. A short life in the land of Bharatvarsh is preferable to a life achieved in Brahmalok for millions and billions of years, because even if one is elevated to Brahmalok, he must return to repeated birth and death. Although life in Bharatvarsh in a lower planetary system is very short, one who lives there can elevate himself to full Krishna consciousness and achieve the highest perfection, even in this short life, by fully surrendering unto the lotus feet of the Lord. Thus, one attains Vaikuntha Lok, where there is neither anxiety nor repeated birth in a material body. This is a further confirmation of the statement given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bharata Bhumi te haila manushya janma yar, janma sarthaka kari karapara upakar. One who has taken birth in the land of Bharatvarsh has a full opportunity to study the direct instructions given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, and thus finally decide what to do in his human form of life. So here, the demigods are saying that being born in this land, this planet Earth, this Bharatvarsh, is better than taking birth in Brahmalok. Brahmalok life, one can live for millions and billions of years. But they are saying even short life on this planet Earth is better. Although it's a lower planet, but it's better. Why? Because one can engage in Krishna consciousness. One can get perfection. How? By surrendering to the lotus feet of the Lord. And thus, one can go to the spiritual world. There is neither anxiety nor repeated birth in the material body. In the spiritual world, there is no anxiety, there is nothing material in the spiritual world. Everything is spiritual. Everyone has spiritual body in the spiritual world. So Prabhupada here is mentioning Caitaniya Caritamita. That how it's so fortunate that one who has taken his birth in this planet. So one should certainly give up all other propositions and surrender to Krishna. Krishna will then immediately take charge and relieve one of the results of past sinful life. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 66, Sarva Dharmam Parityagya. Krishna is saying, surrender unto me. Give up all varieties of religion. Just surrender unto me. So we have to follow Krishna's instructions. And Krishna is saying, if you follow my instruction, if you surrender to me, then I will take away all your sinful reactions. Then no more sinful reactions for you. Therefore, one should take to Krishna consciousness as Krishna himself recommends. Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Always think of me. Become my devotee, worship me, and offer me obeisances. So Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 34, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer obeisances to me. This is Krishna's instructions. This is very easy even for a child. Why not take this path? One should try to follow the instructions of Krishna exactly and thus become fully eligible to be promoted to the kingdom of God. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti swarjana. One should go directly to Krishna and engage in his service. So Krishna is saying, come back home, back to the spiritual world. Just try to understand my transcendental position, and you don't need to take birth here in this material world again. And in the spiritual world, be with Krishna, see Krishna face to face, talk to Krishna. This is engage in Krishna's service. This is the best opportunity offered to the inhabitants of Bharatvarsh. One who is fit to return home back to Godhead is no longer liable to the results of karma, good or bad. So this planet Earth is very, very conducive to engage in devotional service. One can easily revive one's Krishna consciousness and go back to the spiritual world. And Prabhupada is writing here, one who is fit to return home back to Godhead, he has no more karma. He has no material karma, no bad, no good. He has no karma. So one may say, oh, I want good karma. But that good karma is also going to keep us here in the material world. Better to have spiritual benefit. Go back home, back to Godhead. Go to the spiritual world where we don't need to take another material body. We can be in our spiritual body. Na yatra vaikuntha katha sudha paga.
Na yatra vaikuntha katha sudhapaga.
Na sadhavo bhagavatasthadashraya.
Na sadhavo bhagavatasthadashraya.
Na yatra yagyesha makha mahotsava.
Na yatra yatnesha makha mahotsavaha.
Suresha loko pinavesa sevyata.
Suresha loko pina vesa sevyatam.
An intelligent person does not take interest in a place, even in the topmost planetary system, if the pure Ganges of topics concerning the Supreme Lord's activities does not flow there. if there are not devotees engaged in service on the banks of such a river of piety, or if there are no festivals of Sankirtan Yajna to satisfy the Lord, especially since Sankirtan Yajna is recommended in this age. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the land of Bharatvarsh, specifically in Bengal, in the district of Nadia, where Navadvip is situated. It is therefore to be concluded, as stated by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that within this universe, this earth is the best planet, and on this planet, the land of Bharatvarsh is the best. In the land of Bharatvarsh, Bengal is still better. In Bengal, the district of Nadia is still better. And in Nadia, the best place is Navadvip. Why? Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared there to inaugurate the performance of the sacrifice of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So imagine in this entire universe, this earth is the best place, the best planet. And the demigods also saying that they want to be born here. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying this planet Earth is the best of all the planets. In the planet Earth, India is the best. In that, Bengal is still better. Bengal, Nadia, why? Nadia, Navadvip, because Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared there. And he inaugurated, he gave us this Yuga Dharma, Kali Yuga Dharma, Harinam Sankirtan. The Shastras recommend Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagye Sankirtana Praye Yajantihi Sumedasa. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always accompanied by his very confidential associates such as Sri Nityananda, Sri Gadadhar, and Sri Advaita, and by many devotees like Srivas. They are always engaged in chanting the name of the Lord and are always describing Lord Krishna. Therefore, this is the best among all the places in the universe. The Krishna consciousness movement has established its center in Mayapur, the birthsite of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to give men the great opportunity to go there and perform a constant festival of Sankirtan Yajna, as recommended here in Yagyesha Makha Mahotsava, and to distribute prasad to millions of hungry people hankering for spiritual emancipation. This is the mission of the Krishna consciousness movement. So here the demigods are praying, that they want to be born in this land because this is where the topics of pastimes of the Lord are being spoken. He's saying that what is the place of being what is the use to be in a place where there's no pastimes of the Lord being spoken, where there is no devotees are there are no festivals, there's no Sankirtan. What's the use of being in that place? So Prabhupada is mentioning that he put the headquarters here in Mayapur to give an opportunity to everyone to come and get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Bhagavat confirms this as follows. One should not desire to be elevated even to a place in the heavenly planetary systems if it has no propaganda to expand the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, no trace of Vaishnavas, pure devotees of the Lord, and no festivals for spreading Krishna consciousness. It would be better to live perpetually cramped within the airtight bag of a mother's womb, where one can at least remember the lotus feet of the Lord, than to live in a place where there is no opportunity to remember his lotus feet. I pray not to be allowed to take birth in such a condemned place. So this is Caitanya Bhagavat. Caitanya Bhagavat is saying that one should desire to have association of the devotees, where the devotees are hearing and chanting the names of the Lord. So they are saying, the Chaitanya Bhagavat is saying, what's the use to even go to the heavenly planets? Sure, the sense enjoyment is more, but there is no topics of the Lord being spoken. There's no one chanting the Lord's glories, his pastimes, his names. There are no devotees. Then it's better to be in the womb of one's mother, because at least in that condition one will remember the Lord. Similarly, in Caitaniya Caritamita, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami says that since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the inaugurator of the Sankirtana movement, anyone who performs Sankirtan to please the Lord is very, very glorious. Such a person has perfect intelligence, whereas others are in the ignorance of material existence. So Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is saying those who are intelligent will worship Lord Chaitanya by the Sankirtana movement. Sukadev Goswami says the same thing in Bhagavatam, that in this age of Kali, those who are intelligent, they will worship the Lord by Sankirtan. And Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami saying such a person is very glorious. So anyone who is engaged in Sankirtan is glorious. Anyone who's hearing and chanting is glorious. Of all the sacrifices mentioned in the Vedic literatures, the performance of Sankirtan Yagya is the best. Even the performance of 100 Ashwamedha sacrifices cannot compare to the sacrifice of Sankirtan. According to the author of Sri Caitanya Caritamita, if one compares Sankirtan Yagya to other Yagyas, he is a Pashandi, an infidel, and is liable to be punished by Yamaraj. So we can see, because the Yagyas, mostly the Yagyas are performed for material benefit, but Sankirtan Yagya, it's to revive our own spiritual identity, our love for God. So nothing material can compare to Sankirtan Yagya. No other Yagya can compare to Sankirtan Yagya. Even 100 Ashwamedh sacrifice cannot compare to Sankirtan. So
Hare
nothing
Krishna.
material can compare to Sankirtan. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Sankirtan Yagna here, it specifically means chanting of the Maha Mantra.
Yes, hearing and chanting of the holy names of the Lord.
So it's only like that, Hare Krishna, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Yes,
That,
yes, yes,
right? No other.
yes. Chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, speaking Bhagavatam, speaking from Bhagavad Gita, book distribution, all this is Sankirtan. Because if we look in a broader way, it's encouraging everyone to hear and chant the glories of the Lord.
Hmm.
So,
Glories
yeah.
of the Lord, meaning, yeah, Lord Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
right?
Yeah, Lord Krishna. Yes. Yeah. And one
I like that
worships.
part that it's that even when it's better to go to a crowded places where devotees are, like we keep thinking, no, like, oh my gosh, this place, this astan is so crowded. But see, like it's
Yeah.
better to go where devotees are than to go a place where there's nothing happening, like no chanting, no taking the name of the Lord. And the
Yeah.
comparison is to womb, like how a fetus, a baby's in a womb, so tightly in a airtight thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine.
Yeah. Like how we keep saying, no, oh gosh, this is so crowded, the place. It's not like, how can you go to such places? But this is what it's saying, that it's better to go to such places because devotees are there.
Yeah.
We get put off, right? Many times, like, oh, it's so crowded, so crowded.
Yeah. It's
This
true.
place is
Yeah.
so
It's true.
crowded.
Yeah. Yeah. But maybe we just have to like kind of push ourselves, kind of, sometimes.
Just, yeah,
It's true. Yeah.
yeah.
But then sometimes you just have to, oh, because I'm going to get the association of devotees. And here the demigods are saying they don't want to be, they want to be here because they can associate with the devotees. They can engage in hearing and chanting Hare Krishna. Yeah.
How blessed we are, no? That we are in
Yeah.
The Bharatvarsh is the best place to be.
Yeah. And then we are blessed that we are born at this time,
At this
where Lord
time.
Chaitanya just was there 500 years ago only. Where he inaugurated the Yuga Dharma, chanting the Hare Krishna. And so we are at this time, and otherwise, if we were earlier or much later, then how would we get this advantage of engaging in Sankirtan? So, yeah, very fortunate. So, there are many Mayavadis who think that the performance of Sankirtan Yagya is a pious activity similar to the performance of the Ashwamedh Yagya and other such pious functions. But this is a Nama Aparadh. Chanting of the holy name of Narayan and chanting of other names are never equal, despite what Mayavadis think. So we may think that, okay, can chant any name is the same. No, chanting Hare Krishna, chanting the name of Lord Vishnu is completely transcendental. Can't compare it to any other yagya, any other mantra. Prapta nijatim tvaiha yecha jantavo
Prapani jatim tvaiha ye cha jantavo
jnana kriyadravya kalapa samvrata
jnana kriya dravya kalapa samvrita
navayate ranna punarbhavayate
naveyatiran apunar bhavayati
Bhuyo manauka ivayanti bandhanam.
bhuyo vanauka iva yanti bandhanam.
Bharatvarsh offers the proper land and circumstances in which to execute devotional service, which can free one from the results of jnana and karma. If one obtains a human body in the land of Bharatvarsh with clear sensory organs with which to execute the Sankirtan Yagya, but in spite of this opportunity, he does not take to devotional service. He certainly, like liberated forest animals and birds that are careless and are therefore again bound by a hunter. In the land of Bharatvarsh, one can very easily perform the Sankirtan Yagya, which consists of Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, or one can perform other methods of devotional service, such as Smaranam, Vandanam, Archanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, and Atmanivedanam. So the Navanga Bhakti, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. So in Bharatvarsh, one has the opportunity to visit many holy places, especially Lord Chaitanya's birth site and Lord Krishna's birth site, Navadvip and Vrindavan, where there are many pure devotees who have no desire other than to execute devotional service. Anyabilashita shunyam jnana karmadhi anavritam. And one may thus become free from the bondage of material conditions. Other paths, such as the path of jnana and the path of karma, are not very profitable because those results will finish. The results of jnana and karma, they will finish. Pious activities can elevate one to the higher planetary systems, and by speculative knowledge, one can merge into the Brahman existence. But that is not real profit, for one has to come down again, even from the liberated condition of being merged in Brahman. And certainly, one must come down from the heavenly kingdom. So, by one may reach Brahman, one may understand I'm the spirit soul, but if one has no information of what to do, what does the spirit soul do? What is the activity of the spirit soul? then one will again come down to the material world. And of course, from the heavenly planets, once the karma is finished, then one has to just like the holiday is finished, money is finished, go back to work. So the results are temporary. One should endeavor to go back home, back to Godhead. Yanti madhyajino pimam. Otherwise, there's no difference between human life and the lives of jungle animals and birds. Animals and birds also have freedom, but because of their lower birth, they cannot use it. Taking advantage of all the facilities offered him, a human being who has taken birth in the land of Bharatvarsh should become a fully enlightened devotee and go back home, back to Godhead. So here Bhagavatam is saying that animals, if a human being is not taking advantage of the facility that is given, then he's being careless. He's being careless. Rather, one should utilize these facilities that are there. There's hearing, there's chanting, one should engage in them. One has an opportunity to go visit the holy pilgrimages, the dhams, associate with the devotees, worship the deity. So one should take advantage of these facilities and go back home, back to Godhead. This is the subject matter of the Krishna consciousness movement. The inhabitants of places other than Bharatvarsh have facilities for material enjoyment, but they do not have the same facility to take to Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has advised that one who has taken birth as a human being in Bharatvarsh must first realize himself as part and parcel of Krishna. And after taking to Krishna consciousness, he must distribute this knowledge all over the world. So this is what Lord Chaitanya's order is, that anyone who has taken their birth in Bharatvarsh, become a devotee and give Krishna consciousness to everyone. Become Krishna conscious and give Krishna consciousness to everyone. He's not saying just keep it for yourself. Lord Chaitanya, it's a preaching movement. Goshtananandis, we are a preaching movement. Make everyone Krishna conscious so everyone can become happy. Everyone can go back home, back to Godhead. Yeah. Irrespective of where anyone is coming from. But doing this para upakar, the best welfare service to everyone, give Krishna consciousness. Ye Shraddhaya Barishi Bhagasho Havir
Ye Shraddhaya Parhishi Pagasho Havir
Niruptamishtam Vidimantravastutaha
Niruptam Ishtam Viti Mantravastutaha
Eka Prathanamabhirahuto Muda
Eka Pritam Abhivahuto Muda
Granati Purna Swayama Prabhu.
Grinati Purna Swayam Ashisham Prabhu.
In India, Bharatvarsh, there are many worshippers of the demigods, the various officials appointed by the Supreme Lord, such as Indra, Chandra, and Surya, all of whom are worshipped differently. The worshippers offer the demigods their oblations, considering the demigods part and parcel of the whole, the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts these offerings and gradually raises the worshippers to the real standard of devotional service by fulfilling their desires and aspirations. Because the Lord is complete, He offers the worshippers the benedictions they desire even if they worship only part of his transcendental body. In Bhagavad Gita 9.13, Lord Krishna says, Mahatmanas tu mam partha devim prakritim ashrita bhajanti ananya manaso gyatva bhutadim avyayam. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So here, Prabhupada is quoting Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna is saying that the Mahatmas, who are the Mahatmas? They understand Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. They know him to be the cause of all causes. They understand him to be unlimited. And these Mahatmas, they are under the protection of the spiritual energy, not the material energy. And what are they doing? They are engaged in devotional service. So we can see that pure devotional service is under the protection of the spiritual energy of the Lord. Mahatmas, advanced devotees, worship only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Others, however, who are also sometimes called Mahatmas, worship the Lord as Ekatvena Prathakvena. In other words, they accept the demigods as different parts of Krishna and worship them for various benedictions. So, understanding the demigods as part of Krishna. So, understanding the real position of the demigod. Although the devotees of the demigods thus achieve the desired results offered by Krishna, they have been described in Bhagavad Gita as Hrita Jnana. Hrita Jnana, not very intelligent. Krishna does not desire to be worshipped indirectly through the different parts of his body. Krishna wants direct devotional service. Therefore, a devotee who directly worships Lord Krishna through staunch devotional service, as recommended in Srimad Bhagavatam, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajita Purusham Param, is very quickly elevated to the transcendental position. So, sure, there's some people who may be inclined to demigod worship because of for whatever reason, but Krishna is encouraging everyone to worship him only, exclusively him. That's why he's saying, abandon all varieties of religion. Just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Because one may feel fearful, oh, the demigod will be angry at me. As we see, that Lord Indra, he gets angry at the inhabitants of Rajbhumi because they stop the worship. But then Krishna protects them. Krishna protects. And in fact, Lord Indra is regretful of what he does. So nevertheless, devotees who worship the demigods, the different parts of the Lord, receive the benedictions they desire, because the Lord is the original master of all the benedictions. If anyone wants a particular benediction, for the Lord to award it is not at all difficult. So Krishna fulfills all our desires. One desires to worship a particular demigod. Krishna also fulfills that desire. But Krishna prefers, he's urging us in Bhagavad Gita that directly worship me. He's saying, become my devotee, worship me, offer obeisances to me, always remember me. And in this way, come back to the spiritual world. Any questions, comments? Yeah. Satyam dishati arhitam arhito nirnam.
Satyam Tishati Artham Artito
Naivarthadoyat punararthita yataha.
Nevartato Yat Punarartita Yatha
Swayam vidate bhajatam anichatam.
Swayam Vidate Bhajatam Anichatam
Ichhapidanam nijapada pallavam.
Ichha pidanam nijapada pallavam.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead fulfills the material desires of a devotee who approaches him with such motives. But he does not bestow benedictions upon the devotee that will cause him to demand more benedictions again. However, the Lord willingly gives the devotee shelter at his own lotus feet, even though such a person does not aspire for it, and that shelter satisfies all his desires. That is the Supreme Personality's special mercy. So here they are saying, what is the mercy? What is the special benefit of worshipping Krishna? The devotees mentioned in the previous verse approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead with material motives. But this verse explains how such devotees are saved from those desires. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10 advises, Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajita purusham param. Whether one is freed from all material desires, is full of material desires, or desires to become one with the Supreme, he should engage in devotional service. In this way, not only will the devotee's desires be fulfilled, but the day will come when he will have no other desire than to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. So Krishna, he'll fulfill all the desires we have, but he will also clean our heart, our consciousness, cheto darpana marjanam. He cleans all the material desires. And the only desire will be to serve his lotus feet. Means pure devotion. Only desire will be pure devotional service. Means the consciousness gets purified. That's why Bhagavatam is saying, no matter we may have material desires, we desire liberation, we have no desire, just come to Krishna. Just come to Krishna. Worship Krishna. One who engages in the service of the Lord with some motive is called a sakama bhakta. And one who serves the Lord without any motives is called an akama bhakta. Krishna is so merciful that he turns a sakama bhakta into an akama bhakta. So sakama means he has many material desires, but he's still worshipping Krishna. Akama means he has no material desires, his desires only to please Krishna. So Krishna, by his mercy, even the sakam bhakta becomes akama. A pure devotee and akama bhakta.
This is really beautiful. Yeah,
Yes.
so nice. You can turn the devotee, turns him from a sakama bhakta into an akama bhakta.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's how Krishna is. That's why he's
He's
saying,
so
worship me,
merciful.
because so merciful. Yeah, that's why he's saying, come to me, because the demigods can't do that. The demigods, they will fulfill our desires, but they cannot make us into akama bhakta.
Right.
A pure devotee and a kama bhakta who has no material motives is satisfied simply to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. So service to God, serving the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 6.22. Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate na adhikam tata. If one engages in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, he does not want anything more. This is the highest stage of devotional service. God is the greatest person. He's the greatest. There's no one greater than him, no one equal to him. So engaging in the service of such a great personality, and we can see this loving reciprocation, Arjuna and Krishna, and then Krishna is serving his devotee. Krishna begins to serve his devotee. So the devotee wants nothing other than Krishna, and Krishna wants to serve his devotee. So the Lord is so kind even to a sakama bhakta, motivated devotee, that he satisfies his desires in such a way that one day he becomes an Akama Bhakta. Dhruv Maharaj, for example, became a Bhakta with the motive of getting a better kingdom than that of his father. But finally, he became an Akama Bhakta and said to the Lord, Swamin Kratarthos Min Varamna Yache. My dear Lord, I'm very satisfied simply to serve your lotus feet. I do not want any material benefits. It's true, no? Dhruv, he wanted the kingdom greater than Brahma's. That's why he went looking for the Lord. He went to look for Krishna. He engaged in devotional service. Why? Because he had a material desire. I want to become a great king. So then Krishna is coming in front of him and telling him, what do you want? And Dhruv Maharaj is saying, I don't want anything now. I just want to be with you. That's it. Sometimes it is found that a small child eats dirty things, but his parents take away the dirty things and offer him a sandesh or some other sweetmeat. Devotees who aspire for material benedictions are compared to such children. The Lord is so kind that he takes away their material desires and gives them the highest benediction. Prabhupada is comparing the material desires to the dirty things that a child eats. And then
And then
the
gives him
parent
Sandesh.
realizes, okay, my child is hungry. Okay, let me give him something delicious to have. Prabhupada used to like
Sandesh.
sandesh. You know, he used to like sandesh a lot. So he's mentioning sandesh here. So, so similarly, Krishna takes away the material desire, gives highest benediction, pure devotional service. Pure devotional service. Therefore, even for material motives, one should not worship anyone other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One must fully engage himself in the devotional service of the Lord so that all his desires will be fulfilled. And at the end, he can go back home, back to Godhead. So, Krishna is saying, come to me, whatever you want. You have material desire, you desire liberation, what you want, come to me. Don't ask anyone else. Worship me, Krishna is saying. Because Krishna, he fulfills our desires and he brings us back home, back to Godhead. This is explained in Caitaniya Caritamita, Madhya 22, 37 to 39, 41 as follows. Anyakami, a devotee may desire something other than service to the lotus feet of the Lord. Yadi kare Krishnera bhajan. But if he engages in Lord Krishna's service, na magi tehe Krishna tare dena swacharan. Krishna gives him shelter at his lotus feet, even though he does not aspire for it. So here Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, he's explaining Caitanya Caritamrita. What Caitanya Caritamrita is saying? Anyakami. There's anyakam, some other desire. So a devotee has other material desires. He has no desire to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. He has many other material desires. No desire he has some other desire. Yadi kare Krishna bhajan. But if he engages in Krishna's service, then even though he does not ask Krishna, Krishna gives him shelter at his lotus feet. Is so kind, Krishna is so compassionate. Even without asking, na magite Krishna tari dena swacharan. It's giving without asking. Krishna kahe, the Lord says, ama bhaje. He is engaged in my service. Mage vishaya sukha. But he wants the benefits of material sense gratification. So Krishna is saying, he's engaged in my service. Ama bhaje. He's serving me. Krishna is saying that. Mage vishaya sukha, but he wants material happiness, material enjoyment, material desires. Amrita chadi vishaya mage. Such a devotee is like a person who asks for poison instead of nectar. Krishna is saying he's serving me, he's worshipping me. Now, instead of asking me for Amrit, he's asking me for poison. It's like that, like a person. E bara murkha. So Krishna is saying that is his foolishness. Ami Vigya, but I am experienced. Krishna is saying such a person is murkh. He is foolish. He's serving me. He has material desires. I can give him highest benedictions. He's asking me material benedictions. That is foolishness. But at least I am not foolish. Krishna is saying, but I am experienced. Why should I give such a foolish person the dirty things of material enjoyment? Swacharanamrita. It would be better for me to give him shelter at my lotus feet. This is what Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying he is foolish, but at least I am experienced. So this is why it says that, it's always beneficial for us to be in the association of somebody who's great, somebody who's experienced, because we may be foolish, but somebody else is so expert. So we are foolish, but Krishna is so expert. So Krishna can save us. He's saying, why should better for me to give him shelter at my lotus feet? Vishaya Bulaiba. I shall cause him to forget all material desires. Kamalagi Krishna Bhaje. If one engages in the service of the Lord for sense gratification, Paya Krishna Rase, the result is that he ultimately gets a taste for serving the lotus feet of the Lord. So Krishna is saying, it's better I give him shelter at my lotus feet. I will cause him to forget the material desires. Krishna is saying, I will make him forget his material desires. Paya Krishna Rase. The result is that he ultimately will get a taste for serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Kamachari dasahaite haya abhilashe. He then gives up all material desires and wants to become an eternal servant of the Lord. So this is Krishna's mercy, that he gives his protection to anyone and everyone who comes to him. One does not even ask for Krishna's lotus feet, but Krishna says, this person has worshipped me. I will give him protection. Such a kind master here.
So is this the same as Sakam Bhakti to Akam Bhakti?
Yes.
It's the same, right?
Yes, it's the same. It's the same. That how Krishna changes the Sakam Bhakta into Akam Bhakta. It's the same. So that's why Bhagavatam is saying, doesn't matter, you have material desires, you desire liberation, doesn't matter whatever is your desire. Worship Krishna. Just worship Krishna, and all the desires will be fulfilled. So very beautiful, no? Let's stop here today.
Yes.
You can see the demigods also want to engage in devotional service. They are saying, why aren't we born over here? We want to be born here. We want to be engaged in devotional service. We have so much enjoyment that we are not able to remember God. We are busy enjoying, but we are wasting our time. So then we who have this opportunity should
And we are not taking.
grab this opportunity. Should take this opportunity. Engage in devotional service. And give others also this opportunity to engage in devotional service. Do the para upakar, the highest benefit to others. Give them Krishna consciousness. Let everyone become happy. Stop here for today. Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.